for the official introductions, Big Mo.
Doral, can you hear me? No, I said Doral, Florida. Can you hear?
I can't.
Me? Welcome to BYB 11 live from Trump National here in Doral, Florida. We have 9 bare knuckle bouts, all sanctioned by the Florida Athletic Commission, culminating in our highly anticipated championship main event. But it all begins with our first fight of the night. 5 3-minute rounds in the BYB light heavyweight division. Introducing first, making his way to the Trigon, please welcome Paul Hilz.
Paul Hilz, as he said in the feature, Benny, he picked up the gloves for the first time at 28 years old. He's a gamer. He'll come out banging. He's got that kill or be killed attitude. You enjoyed visiting with him during the fighter interviews.
Oh, without a doubt, very engaging guy. You know, the big thing with him, and I watched all his fights and all the highlights from it, he's got a big overhand right. And what he does really well, and Paula, you can elaborate on this, is he punches with the inside of his fist. And that's the strongest part of your hand. And he comes over with that overhand right and just drops it on you. And you almost don't see it coming, and that's his big punch.
And that's the thing, Benny, you know, when you punch with that side of your hand, you want to punch with those 2 main knuckles, your pointer knuckle and the middle knuckle, because that part of your hand is more solid. The back 2 knuckles, the pinky and the ring finger, those bones behind those knuckles move. So if you punch with those knuckles, you're going to break your hand. But with those solid part of your hand, the pinky, the pointer finger and the middle knuckle, you punch with those 2, you're going to get more solid fundamental damage done. And Hilz has mastered that method of punching with the bare hand.
All of his fights have been in BYB in the UK. All 5 victories have come by knockout. So yeah, Benny, he knows how to land that big overhand right.
And you know, he was telling me he used to have 22-inch arms. He said he not only took steroids, he said he was an abuser, is what he was.
Yep.
22-inch arms.
But now he's calm, he's cool, he wants to slow things down. As he gets in it will be the first time in the Trigon, and it will be interesting to see how his footwork will be.
And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, please welcome Arzeno.
Born in the Dominican Republic, he lives, trains, and fights out of Miami. He has told us in the past his heart is his strength. Professional Muay Thai and amateur kickboxing background. On his opponent, Paul Hilz, he said, I'll do my talking when we get the Trigon.
And he's really prepared himself for this, Mike. He's been training, you know, doing cardio 2 times a day, and he's had a lot of time to prepare for this to really make a good showing. And it's interesting, this guy is a mural artist. And he said when his wife went out to LA, it was absolutely the most amazing sight to see all those things. And he was dying to get out there and paint some of that stuff.
I was just in Medellin, Colombia, and there's some great art and great murals there. I went on the tour, Paulie.
A lot of beauty there.
Set for our first of 9 fights inside the Trigon tonight, Arzeno, looking for his first BYB Extreme win.
Ladies and gentlemen, our opening bout on the card is scheduled for 5 3-minute rounds in the light heavyweight division and is presented by Playmaker. Let's meet the fighters. First, fighting out of the blue corner, he's stands 5 feet 11 inches tall. He weighed in at 167 pounds. He holds a bare knuckle record of 5 wins, 4 losses, all 5 wins coming by way of knockout. And he fights out of London, England, introducing Paul Soul Snatcher Hilz. And his opponent fighting out of the red corner. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall. He weighed in at 169 pounds. He holds a bare knuckle record of 1 win, 2 losses, and he fights right here in Miami, Florida, by way of Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, Alan the Rebel Arzeno. Our referee in charge, Bobby Wambacher.
All right, gentlemen, we've been through the rules of the back. I expect a good, clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Touch him up if you want.
Bobby Wambacher, our referee. Light heavyweight matchup gets us started. Scheduled for 5 3-minute rounds.
And Mike, in the fighter instruction, they really emphasize the fact that they got to close the fist. No open, feeling out with open hands.
Here we go. The southpaw against the orthodox fighter, Arzeno. The southpaw in the red and black trunks, black and camouflage for the Brit.
You remind me of 2 guys with a bald head. There's a cut already on the top of the head of Hilz. 2 guys with bald heads, those hurt their hands, I'm telling you, man. You fight a bald head, I fought a bald head and bare knuckle. There's a lot more cranium and bone you're hitting, and then your hands start to hurt.
I hope their head did a little bit too, Paul.
Yeah. You don't want to hit the head and the cheek. Those are the 2 hardest parts. That's a well-constructed part of the body. You want to hit below the ear, below the chin, and on the orbital socket.
Clinch work and dirty boxing.
And the thing about with the cut on top of Hilz's head, if it was a regular boxing match, I'd say it was a clash of heads or an elbow. But because of the bare knuckle, you know, the bone-to-bone collision can also come from the hand, from the knuckle. So I don't even know what brought that cut on the top of the head of Hilz.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm bleeding myself now. I got blood all over
Already?
now.
That's early. Usually it takes a minute and a half or so, just 30 seconds. And my iPad's already loaded up for game tonight.
Welcome to the festivities, guys.
You got it.
Boy, Hilz, that right hand is like a jackhammer. I mean, it just keeps coming and coming and coming. It's almost like he's beating one of those screen doors during a hurricane.
I'll tell you, Arzeno's in there. He's not in there to just show up.
No, he's in great shape, Paulie. He's in great shape. The cardio twice a day.
And this fight has gotten rough. It's gotten past the initial rough stage that a fight can get to. And both guys are still here, which means they both have that fighting mentality. They both showed up to fight. There are fights we watch where as soon as it gets a little bit heated, we see already one guy's on the canvas or one guy's already changed his mind about the way he fights. The mentality of both of these guys remains very much focused on winning this fight, despite how rough it's gotten so far.
Arzeno said he learned a lot from his first fight in the Mighty Trigon. The way he blocks, the way he covers. He said there are plenty of openings that I will find on the Brit, and I will hit him and continue to hit him until I finish him.
But Paul Hill's got to watch out. He's a flat-footed fighter. And in this particular Trigon, you've got to be very nimble-footed and move around laterally. You don't want to be going back because there's no place to go.
Well, like you said, Ben, you got to try or you're gone.
That's exactly right. Nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. Good first round, good start. Just over 30 seconds on the clock. 3-minute rounds, 9 fights tonight.
I like these sharp, straight left hands that Arzeno's putting between the gloves of Hilz. Although it's a nice sharp right hand by Hilz too.
Hilz with that right hand counter as we finish up round number 1. Good start to BYB here in Doral.
That's a good close round, I tell you. Good competitive fight.
And you see that nasty hematoma over there around the right eye of Hilz. That's going to get nasty. He worked out with Chris Sarro. Chris Sarro's a bare knuckle fighter, And so he got to work with him, and they were training. And the big thing was managing the space inside that trigon. They laid out ropes, trying to go ahead and get used to that surface.
Said it really, at first, Benny, it messed with his footwork. And then he said, you know what? I don't really have footwork. I don't know how to use it, so I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to go and throw that big right hand.
Yeah, that's...
Here's how the cut happened early in the round, Paulie.
And we were wondering if it was a clash of heads, or if it was the knuckle. Maybe it might have been the left hand of Arzeno. Again, the top of the head usually bone-to-bone collision. So in a boxing match, you don't usually see top of the head cuts unless it's a clash of heads. But here, you get the bone and you get the knuckle on top of the head. It will cut.
Round 2. Alan Arzeno in the black and red trunks. He's the southpaw. The Brit pushing forward. Black and camouflage. Hills on the front of his trunks. Soul Snatcher, his nickname.
Now Hills cut. Hills now is cut on the bottom of the right eye as well, just underneath the eye. So he's getting a little bit of damage now. He's got the cut on the side of the right eye, and now he's got it right underneath it.
You know, these are the kind of fights you love, because these guys aren't comfortable unless they're feeling that blood, smelling the blood, and I mean, that's when they get motivated.
And sharing it with us. Good pressure by Paul Hills.
But also a good smother by Arzeno. He's not allowing Hills' big power to get that leverage on the shots. You know, he's smothering or he's pulling away. He's riding with the shots. And then I feel, from what I'm seeing, Arzeno is, when he's landing, he's getting more, he's able to get a little more mustard behind his shots. Here we get a little bit of dirty boxing.
Bobby Wambacher will break them from the clinch. Round 2 continues.
And talking to Hills yesterday, you know, he's saying, you know, he doesn't really play around. He's not really, you know, he's in there to fight, and there's not a lot of room in the trigon, so we figure he has the advantage. But Arzeno's doing a good job of using a little bit of space here and there and create the leverage for his own shots while taking it away from Hills.
And what he's doing, Mike, he's doing a good job of moving laterally. And by moving laterally is the way you create those punching angles for himself, whereas Hills keeps going back and forth, and front and back, front and back.
Benny, I'll tell you, Hills has got really heavy feet. So just on changing those angles, Arzeno is giving him fits because he's not able to find the distance.
Oh,
right there again.
Big right hand.
There's a turn again by Arzeno, Benny.
Hills keeps those hands up, trying to cover.
And that's the thing, Hills came in with a reputation for having heavy hands, but the problem is he's got these heavy feet, and Arzeno is making him pay for it by showing his inability to close that gap. He's caught on both eyes now.
That's the thing, you can have heavy hands, but the target keeps moving.
Yep. Hills told us it's absolutely massive for him to be here in the U.S. fighting under the BYB banner this evening, the biggest height in his career. He said, when I beat the American who came over, I did my homework on BYB. I was very impressed. Now I'm going to come and do it right here in Alan Arzeno's backyard.
Well, I love their terms. Massive.
Yes. Brilliant. Mind the gap. And the Trigon is headed to the O2 in London. More on that as we continue the night.
I'll tell you, Arzeno's feeling that rhythm. He's getting confident. You can see in his body language, he's feeling it.
Round 2 in the books.
And you know, Mike, what I really like about this is that Arzeno's really making himself awkward.
Yeah.
Really unorthodox, really awkward. And you know, where you can see that Hills wants to come right down the pipe.
Yeah.
Well, he's not down the pipe.
And you know what it is, Benny? He's awkward, but he's making those steps count. It's just small little steps. So you don't have enough room in the trigon to go in flight. So he just takes those little small steps laterally, pivots or steps back, and he takes away the distance from Hills. Here's some of that action from that last round. That nice left hand that I was mentioning. Although yeah, he checked that. I don't know if Arzeno hurt his hand there, or if he's just wiping the blood. I think he's just wiping the blood there from the hand from his own hand, the blood that he got off of Hills' face. I think he's just showing off that, hey, I got your blood on here on my fist, and I'm hitting you. And those straight left hands are really effective for Arzeno.
Doing a little Luke Rockhold. Third round. First fight of the night. They come out swinging.
And Hilz has to look up. You see the problem with Hilz here? He's looking down, trying to throw punches. Arzeno's more focused. He's able to step back and time those shots. Hilz is just trying to be tough, but he's too tough for his own good. But he's got to show a little bit of intelligence in there, too. You got to look at where you're punching. You can't just put your head down and throw, Benny.
Well, I mentioned the fact that if you get in the corner, you better be a buzzsaw.
Yes.
And that's exactly what he's doing. He's able to fight with his back to the ropes, but he's a buzzsaw. He's throwing punches and constantly.
And also, when you're looking at the target, you're able to, you know, take those half steps out of range and in range. You know, Hilz isn't doing that. Hilz gets close, looks down at the floor, and just want to throw a bunch of punches, while Arzeno's able to take advantage of that.
Yeah, they're going to call the doctor here.
Arzeno's feeling.
And it's the right eye, Mike. The one on the other side, yeah, right there. The other one. Boy, he's got both of them now.
Okay, Wambaka lets him continue here. Nice timing right hook there by Arzeno as Hilz getting desperate, trying to fly in. But again, he's got to be a little smarter in the way he sets the traps. He's just trying to tough his way in, and here you see Arzeno really smart and just smothering him. Arzeno's not just going to allow him to find the proper distance to get leverage on his shots. Hilz is going to have to think his way through, but no feints, no change of levels. He's just forcing his way in the front door, and it's not going to work. And as again, Arzeno just smothers him.
Arzeno extremely calm and composed in the Trigon tonight, Benny.
Absolutely. And one of the things I see with Hilz now, I see the MMA in him. Because you notice before he comes to the fight, he lifts that leg up.
Yeah.
It's almost like telegraphing and punching. Oh, that blood now is just flowing out of that left eye. Their left eye.
And with Arzeno's rhythm, you can't give those kind of hitches because Arzeno's gonna, you know, he's gonna react to them. He's gonna have you missing.
And there's the tight plum.
6 professional boxing fights on the ledger for the Soul Snatcher, Paul Hilz. Keep an eye on the cardio now that we have made our way to round 3.
Well, the Brits were known as the redcoats, and the redcoat here is blood.
You got that right. And Hilz is all kinds of busted up. And he might show more aggression to try to get a big swing and get that big home run and get out of here with his arm raised as Arzeno breaks him down, Paul.
I like the way Arzeno times him with a right hook when he rushes in. You're gonna notice it sometimes. Hilz tries to push his way in, and then right there's a little right hook again, and he smothers. So Arzeno's able to touch him with that little short right hook every time Hilz flies in there. He just tried it again. You notice Arzeno, from that southpaw stance, is able to throw that little short right hook, and that's caused some of that bleeding around that eye, that left eye of Hilz. As he throws that little short right hook, does Arzeno, and then smothers the Russian of Hilz. There it is again. And that eye is just terribly looking right now. And they got to check, I mean, they got to check if there's a broken orbit as well. I mean, this is... We're showering over here as they're right above our corner. Showering in Hilz's blood. Although now Arzeno is also cut.
It's great to be back with you guys. What a way to get things started.
Oh, my goodness. Get a bath, a blood bath. You know, I'm not seeing the referee checking on him, Paulie.
You know, the ref took him to the doctor, but I don't see him in the corner now. See some of that action there again. You see Hilz trying to work his way in, but you look at Arzeno. Arzeno's a more alert guy. Hilz is not really adjusting his distance there. He's just trying to throw punches from where he's at. Arzeno kind of takes those little half steps in or out, creates just enough space to get to maximize the leverage on his shots. Fighting just a little smarter, and that's all you need to be in here. It's you be a little bit smarter and remain tough. And it separates you from your opponent. Again, look at the shot selection of Arzeno. He'll go to the body at times. He'll take some steam off some of the shots to keep Hilz distracted with some little punches and then load up a bigger one around the side or to the body.
He said there's plenty of openings. He'll hit him. He just caught him with a body shot.
And there's, again, catching him with that right hook again on the way in.
You know, and Arzeno, Paulie, what he does really well, he knows how to manage that space. He walks him down.
Yeah.
And then when he walks him down, he gets in that kill zone, and he never stops throwing.
But I'll tell you what, Hilz right here, he's got to feint his way in. See, Hilz does the same thing. He walks in, he crosses his feet, and just looks to just tough his way in. And then toughing your way in is not going to work with Arzeno. Arzeno knows how to fight. It's not just being tough. Hilz is tough, but he doesn't really know how to fight. Arzeno is tough as well, but he knows how to fight. He's timing, he's taking the angle, he's outsmarting Hilz every time Hilz looks to close the gap. Hilz right here, you're going to see him walk right to Arzeno every single time. No feint, and he's going to cross his feet. Watch.
Hilz said, I'm going to catch him like a sniper. So far, Arzeno has been the sniper and done a lot of damage to the Brit Paul Hilz.
Yeah, and at this point, look, there's that tie plum. Now he's using it even to rest up. Arzeno can rest up in here in this little clinch.
And guys, Arzeno's the one who has the Muay Thai background, so he doesn't mind that clinch and that plum.
But you know, this is where experience in the Trigon pays off.
Yes.
You know, and that's the thing you talked about, the fact that Arzeno has been in this Trigon. And you got to know how to fight in this thing. You can't be flat-footed. Like I said, there's no parking and no standing sign in front of the Trigon.
No. And you got to be a little bit deceptive on your entrance into the punch zone. Hilz has just not been deceptive at all. It's been the same thing. He's just tried to force his way into the punch zone. And Arzeno has been able to set him up every time.
Hilz was retired from professional boxing for 2 years before he made his BKB debut at age 38. He's 41 years old. This is round 4. The Brit with the blue wrap, the soul snatcher, and the black and camouflage trunks. The Rebel, Alan Arzeno, the southpaw, in the red and black.
I'm amazed what keeps Hilz up.
You know what, Benny? I was just thinking the same thing. Does Paul Hilz even have enough left in the tank to be explosive enough to turn this thing around?
And that's the thing, guys. I don't know that he has enough snap on his shots anymore. I mean, he's very arm weary, even the way he's throwing punches. When he is, even the way he closes the gap, he just kind of falls in. Now it's becoming even easier for Arzeno to smother him.
Arzeno snuck a right-handed. Headed to the 5th and final round. Well, the one thing that is true is that Paul Hilz said of his opponent he likes the fight game. I respect that. I know he doesn't mind getting stuck in a hard fight. I respect that too. I think we're going to both bring everything to this. It potentially could be fight of the night. As we get ready for round 5, Benny, I'd say that's pretty accurate.
And you know, one of the things that Alan Arzeno said is, I know he's going to open up.
Yes.
I know he's going to open up. So that was going to play right into Arzeno's arsenal because he knows how to manage that space, especially when you get up close like that in that kill zone. I think they're going to stop this. That blood is flowing right into the eye there, Paulie.
Yeah, it is. It looks bad.
That's it.
That's it. The doctor has stopped the fight. And Alan Arzeno victorious for the first time inside the Trigon.
And here's what I love about the Brits. They can go out there and bleed and put on an unbelievable brawl. And they're so gentlemanly about it afterwards. Great sportsmanship. I love that about the Brits.
Head up.
That might be a break on the cheek of...
You talked about the orbital, right?
Yeah, on the cheek of the orbit of Paul Hilz.
You don't understand. I really, really appreciate it.
Arzeno thanking Paul Hilz for coming over here to fight and a very emotional victor, Arzeno.
You know, I don't know about you, Paulie, but I had Arzeno pitching a shutout.
Yeah.
I just thought, you know, he prepared himself really well. I think that cardio training really worked because he never stopped throwing. Never stopped throwing.
And he stayed in rhythm, which is also difficult if you're not in shape. If you don't have the cardio, staying in that head movement rhythm, that little rhythm he was giving, you know, that also, you need to be in shape for that, you know, because as you fatigue, that's one of the first things you lose is the head movement and the little hip swivel that you have, you know, to stay in rhythm and stay defensively sharp. He never lost that, stayed sharp-minded, selected his shots well, and ultimately he was just better than Hilz.
Was a fun fight against Mattia Fonda, one that did not go Arzeno's way. But man, he just was much more relaxed and composed, as I mentioned earlier tonight, and he controlled the trigon, plain and simple.
Without a doubt. And you know, in sports, you only get so many opportunities. So when you get that opportunity, you got to make the maximum out of it. And that's the thing with Arzeno. He knew people were going to see him in England. People were going to go ahead and get that opportunity, maybe go there and do some fighting. So he made the most of the moment.
To make our first fight official, here is Big Mo.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Bobby Wambacher calls a stop to this contest at the end of the 4th round, declaring your winner by TKO by a doctor stoppage, Arzeno.
All right, we're with the winner, Arzeno. Alan, that was a boxing masterpiece. You came out, you used your boxing skills, your movement. Talk about the fight, how it worked for you.
Oh, man. First of all, I want to say thank you to Paul Hilz for coming all the way to the UK, to the United States to come and face me. You guys don't understand, man. I've been putting a lot of work in this. I know what I'm doing when I'm stepping into this ring, into the trigon. I'm a warrior. I'm a fucking warrior. And there's nobody that can take that from me.
Your experience in the trigon, I think, showed tonight because you came out so relaxed, you moved, you were confident. You feel comfortable in here, don't you?
Yes, sir, I do. I feel really good. I learned the triangle. I learned the movement in the trigon. And once I figured that out, it was just getting in here and doing what I do. This is what I do. This is all I know. This is all I know. You guys don't understand. I don't know nothing else but fighting. This is what I do.
What would you like to do next?
I don't know, whatever they offer me. My coach doesn't want me to fight anymore. I'm 43 years old, and he really doesn't want me to fight. He just told me, he's like, Alan, this is the last one. But, you know, I never know. I honestly don't know. If they offer me another fight, I'll probably step in here again because I'm a fucking warrior. This is all I know.
You proved you're a warrior tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for coming in. I know there's a lot of people that came here to watch this and to support the fighters. BYB is one of the best promotions out there, if not the best promotion, and I can attest to that. I'm pretty sure all the fighters here can attest to that. Thank you to my team, Freedom Fighters. Thank you to BYB. Thank you for Manolo, Ray, Brian, my girlfriend, Claudia, my daughter, Elena, and everybody that came out here. Everybody that came out here. Thank you so much.
All right, go enjoy it. Let's go back up to Dave and Claudia.
All right, Bob, thanks so much.